Chano, dude, man, what's all the smoke here in the utility room?
And I don't know. I think it might have been electricians. I didn't get the lights right.
No, that's not. Doesn't smell like electricity.
That's not electricity?
No, it doesn't smell like burnt wires or nothing. It. Hey, man,
Choking me out in here. What the hell?
Reminds me of being. Whoa, what is that stuff? Man. So, like, what are you doing to the utility room, dude?
Dude, we got some new lighting in here, and I cannot get this dang thing to come on for some reason. The switch is out. And
it's full of smoke. I don't care about the light, man.
Well, what can I say? JASM left a little package in here, I think.
What?
Tupperware, I think, isn't it?
I don't know. Let me see, man. What is this? Well, I don't know. Hold on. Oh, cool. Brownies.
Nice. I'll take one.
No, you better clear out this smoke first. I'll take care of these brownies. Anyway, man, we got a show to do, don't we? When's that supposed to start?
Is a show tonight?
Yeah, I think Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh man, I bet. Oh man, I hope be quiet. I'm gonna open up the door real quick and take a look and see. Man, there's a lot of people out there, dude.
Whoa.
And we're late.
Uh-oh.
Oh man. Okay. Breathe deep. Hold on. Let me breathe deep.
Smell the flowers.
Get ready to go out there and face the crowd. Let me get
Smell
ready.
the flowers.
Smell flowers. Man. Wow.
Not those flowers.
I love our chat room, man.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
It is smoking here.
Yeah. You know what, dude? You know what? I love you too, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for PCG Talk. And let me get over here to where you guys are on the dashboard, the chat room, whatever you wish to call it. Good evening and welcome. And over here on the side in the next room over is one of my best people ever. Chano, what's up, brother?
Choctaw, what's going on, my man? How's it going tonight? Chat, what's up? Ready for some talk? And some chilling with the bass doctor.
It is busting with the bass doctor tonight, man. It is going to be so awesome. Man, we got 4 songs by him. We are going to get into the mind and get the remedies, the musical remedies, mind you, from the bass doctor. So, Chano, what's been going on, man?
Kind of working behind the scenes here, boss, and having fun filling in for you in the morning. Hope everybody's enjoying the fill in with Choctaw.
Yeah, I think you're going to replace me pretty easy.
No, you'll be back.
Oh, man, look at the chat room. Point Man, Stephen John, Mrs. Bass Lover, good to see you. Trisha Jones, Peachy King, Cushion-On, Yamabudo, Deborah W. Message retracted, rethink. Loot 7, Simple Man. So, hey, did you guys like the introduction to the show? Give us one if you did. I'd like to see that, man. It was like, you know what? We gotta bring something a little different every time. I try really hard. Would you say that we try really hard, Shano? We have these discussions back and forth a lot, my friend.
Yeah, man, you rock, brother. You rock.
All right, we're getting ones. Cool.
Look at the ones. Look at the love.
Oh, yeah, we do love it. So we've got the bass doctor tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Lee's Rock, good to see you. Red Rob, grab some of these, would you, brother?
Yeah, Bike Life. Hey, man, thank you. Billy Jim, Brenda Coleman, Yamabudo.
Yamabudo, go Army. Hey, got my colors on.
Yeah, it's Red Friday. Cushion on. Hey, brother. Deborah W. Costas Chameleon. Big Ed. Mrs. Chano in the house. He cute. Mm-hmm. Salute, brother. Lee Rocks.
There's he cute.
Yeah.
Man, very cool. All right. Well, let's see. Goats drool, mules rule. Oh, man. Yama, come on. Don't be so brutal, man. I mean, I dig where you're coming from, but hey, yeah, support Army, but go Navy. Man, that's what I told Chano. I said, in my next life, coming back in my next life, I am going to be on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier, getting those jets and helicopters in the air. You better believe it. Irene Soto, Sunray, good to see you. Deploribus Rex, Caustic Chameleon. Man, great people. Such great people. On game day, all bets are off. Man, I'll tell you something real funny about last year's Army-Navy game. Of course, Army won, but it started snowing, and the Army had white uniforms and these kind of like silver helmets. And so somebody had posted up on Twitter a picture of the secondary for the Army and said, finally, the Army got camouflage right.
Finally.
Oh, yeah. It's big game tomorrow. It really is. I hope you'll tune into it. It's the only game I watch. It's really seriously the only game I care about, except for the games between the services themselves, the Air Force Academy, the Naval Academy, West Point, Coast Guard Academy. Yeah, I care about those. But other than that, I'm not much into football anymore. So let's see. Brenda Coleman says, go Army. Son was in National Guard. All right. So where shall we go from here? Let us chat a little bit, shall we?
Yeah. Let's chat.
Let's chat.
I'm looking for the chat. It's trying to get here.
I'll say, do you really want to chat with me tonight?
I've got the chat in line now.
Oh, man, I got like couple of people like, remember, oh man, I shouldn't even bring it up, brother. I mean, you gotta love Monty Python, but I guess in this day and age, some of the stuff that Monty Python did is very seriously questionable. Yeah. And anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
Okay.
That's all I will say about that.
We'll take a turn. Hey, the closet's done anyway. Got the lights working finally.
Yeah, well. Oh, man, I can't wait to hear the playback on this. This is going to be a good one, man. Trisha Jones writes, pip, pip, and cheerio.
Tea and crumpets, eh?
How about some fish and chips?
Fish and chips? We want them too.
Could you imagine, man, like if American shows back in the 60s were like all British? I mean, like Lassie. Lassie, come here, Lassie. Oh, did Tim fall in the well? Did he? Oh my goodness, what shall we ever do? No, sorry.
Do Gomer Pyle, please. Do Gomer Pyle.
Oh man, Shazam! No, I can't do a good Gomer Pyle, but man, Jim Neighbors, what a voice he had.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, the first, really honest, when I was a kid, and the first time that he sang on Andy Griffith, I really thought they dubbed it in.
Yeah, and that was
there was no way Gomer Pyle could sing like that, you know.
Yeah, right. Being you knew his character. Yeah. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Golly, Sergeant Carter.
When you got it down, man.
And Vince Carter, oh man.
Yeah.
And he had that, and Sergeant Carter had that girlfriend, Bonnie.
Bonnie, oh yeah.
Bunny,
right?
Bunny, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, man. That show was a trip. It was a trip. Let's see. Question for you. Here's a question for you. A lot of the stuff that we don't really come on air with anything in particular to talk about. So we usually just talk about what we talk about behind the scenes at the office, as we like to call it. Yeah. Yeah. The strange office.
Mm-hmm. People just they wander in and out. Just come in to visit.
Wander in and out. Never know where they're going to come from.
Yeah. But they bring brownies, so we allow it.
Well, yeah. Thanks, JASM. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, discussion time on we had got into this discussion on and I'm gonna branch it out a little bit this time. We got into this discussion on if you could have been like in any band that did a really good live album back in the day, you know, vinyl, what band would it have been? Do you remember that discussion?
You're talking to
you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What did I say?
I really don't remember what you said, but I do remember what my response was. And my response was, we have these really stupid intellectual conversations behind the scenes. So I don't want you guys to mess out. So I was back in that day, but then I changed course on it today after I was reminded about something, Chano.
Okay.
And and that is, remember I said Frampton, right?
Yes, I do remember. Yep.
Yeah, to have been on, the Frampton Comes Alive album.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's fun. It's not complicated. It's, people having a good time, Well, if I really had to go back and change that, I would say I would pick the album above all else. And I don't know why I didn't think about this, probably because we were talking about some other kind of music at the time. But really, of all the live albums ever done, if I could be on the stage with it, playing an instrument, it would definitely be Neil Young and Crazy Horse with Live Rust, without a doubt.
There you go. Sweet.
Any thoughts?
I could see you playing with them. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd fit in, man. Today I was watching. I was going through one of my playlists here at Last Scout Radio, and I was looking at the Farm Aid performance that he did, a Cowgirl in the Sand, and it's just like, man, guys jamming, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and they've been doing it for so many years by this time that it wasn't boring. It was just a pleasure to watch old maestros at work, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Back then, yeah, masters.
Exactly. I mean, it's Neil Young is controversial. I'd admit, man, that one album he did. Oh man. Oh God, what was it? The war one, just before Obama got elected. What was that? What name of that album? Anybody in chat room remember? Without War or something like that? It kind of went back to like old Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young kind of stuff as far as its flavor. Let's see. Anybody in the chat room? Are you looking that up, Chano, by any chance?
No.
Help me out here, man. Thanks, dude.
Yep.
I'll give you those 8-digit grid coordinates again for pickup, okay?
Yeah. Thank you. I love those when I get those in advance, I'll take them every time.
I think it was Without War or something like that. Anyway, but politics happening. I don't always agree with musicians, and I wish musicians would basically, the top musicians would basically just stay out of it as far as controversial stuff goes.
It's changed how a lot of us patriots feel about some of our musician heroes or whatever that we thought about and grew up with,
Right.
It's kind of brought out a different feeling now.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob, what's going on, little man?
Jacob,
go ahead.
I just say, hey, give him a shout out. Jacob, what's up, my man? Yep.
I don't know. It's a lot of interesting music has passed through time in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And it really has been incredible to watch. The music today, and I know every generation has said this, but really, when you look at rock and roll, you can't say this. Rock and roll is the one bit of style of music that is evolved, but it is evolved generation to generation. And it seems like that now the rock and roll, man, it's just over the top. It's not that it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can hear the words and everything, but it just doesn't do the soul right. It's just soulless. Is the only way I know how to put a lot of the new rock and roll.
Yeah, well, if you want to hear new rock, you got to listen to New Country, to me, because that's old rock.
Living with War was the name of the album. Thanks, Unchained. I appreciate that. Yeah, Living with War. Okay, cool.
Well, you had it, man. You got it.
I was close, but no cigar. Yeah. Now, I would have been close enough for an Obama government employee, but anyway, that's another story. We don't talk about that here. Anyway, so let's see.
Well, speaking of great musicians, we do have one in the house with us tonight.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And we've got 4 of his songs to bring.
Bass Doctor, are you out there?
Yes, sir, I am. How are you guys tonight?
How goes it, Bass Doctor? Good to have you here, sir.
Hello, sir. Hi, Chano. Hi, chat room. How are are you guys doing tonight?
Most excellent, man. You're coming in 5 by 5, brother.
Yes, you are, man. You're coming in really good. And I'll tell you what, before we even get you started, let me pull up some of your music here real quick. Normally I would have had this ready, but I was expecting you in a couple more minutes. But that's cool. We're good to go, man. This is homegrown radio, without a doubt. We got to coin that phrase, Chano. You know that?
Yes. Homegrown
yes,
radio.
We do, without a doubt.
Making radio great again. I think you've already got it, brother.
Yeah, making radio great again. I like that one too. Like that one too. Okay. We're going to start off with get you to flow into the bass doctor here. We are going to start off with one of his songs, and we'll discuss other things down the line too as we proceed down, looking for the musical remedies of the bass doctor. But right now, here is Make You Mine from our very own bass doctor.
Baby, say I'm gonna make you mine. Baby, I'm gonna make you my Valentine. Baby, I'll show you, baby, the moon and the stars. But first, baby, we're gonna take you right in my car. I love you every way, but tonight I'm gonna make you mine. I don't need anyone, but tonight I'm gonna make you. Tonight I'm gonna make you mine. Baby, you know you drove me wild. Baby, when you drove me miles. Baby, show you the golden ring. I'll do anything, I'll do anything. Oh, tonight I'll put you on the light in front of your eyes. I don't need anyone, but tonight I'm gonna make you. Tonight I'm gonna make you mine. me cry. But when you told me goodbye, baby, you know, yeah, it didn't wait so long. Baby, you have to treat me wrong, yeah. I
right. Make you mine, the bass doctor. All right, gentlemen, let's put her out there.
Way to go, man. That thing is awesome. Bass Doctor, what's up, brother? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. That's great to hear my old music like that again. Every time I get to hear it, it brings back the memories of all the great things that we went through and all the shows we played and all the great people we met. It's just awesome. It's amazing. It's amazing to be here tonight with you guys.
So many questions, so little time. We've had many conversations in the background. I have drummed up a few questions here tonight, and I'd kind of like to get to them right off the bat, if you don't mind. I know we've kind of previewed the music, and we've all heard it, and we love you, the Bass Doctor, and also.
I think Shannon was muted.
Sorry about that. So let's get this rolling. At what age did you start playing the bass, my brother?
About 14, 15. I saved up all my money from my little job I had and shoveling snow, and I went down to Madonna's Music and I bought myself a Lark bass. It was the cheapest one they had. And I brought it home and I sucked. And I couldn't play anything. And I had my friend Matt with me, and he started showing me how to play. And the reason that I bought it is because of Matt. And I found out later that the guitar was made right up the street. So it was pretty cool, actually, like knowing that. And me and Matt sat there for a little while, and he gave me a book, left, and I taught myself how to play bass on that crappy old beat up, abused guitar.
Yeah, what was the name of the bass? The first bass you had?
A Lark.
A Lark.
Lark. That's right. It was white and it had split pickups.
Okay. What kind of amp did you have? An amp, brother, or just?
I have a crate kickback amp.
Oh, the kickback. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one. Yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's my old amp. I had a crate kickback
with the EQ on it. Yeah, on the front. Yeah,
right on the top.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was really cool. And there's a lot of other things I could have bought. You know, I could have bought a really expensive one and just walked out of there with that and borrowed an amp. But I figured I didn't know what I was doing, and I just wanted to try it because I only played piano before. And that's where I went. And I bought that bass, and it started the whole thing. Because Matt was walking around when we were kids strumming his guitar, and he didn't have anybody to play with. So I bought a bass, and then he started playing in a band, and then I got better at bass, and we got back together and formed the real band.
So what was your first song that you learned, brother? Going back a little bit, yeah.
The first song I ever learned on my bass was "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana. And after I learned that, I told Matt I didn't like it. So we started playing some other music, and I learned a Neil Young song called "Cowgirl in the Sand," which Choctaw just mentioned and blew my mind, because that is probably the actual second song I learned. It's 10 minutes long, and it took me 3 months to actually learn Stills bass line, but I did it.
So you said just a few seconds ago that you played piano as well.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the piano.
I can play like "Lean on Me." I can play a bunch of songs that are from the 80s. I can actually play Eddie Murphy's movie theme, Axel F from Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know why. I just learned it. I learned like a Sheena Easton song, and then I said, "This is what it is." It's like top 40. So I switched and I said, "I'm going to play bass," because Matt needed a bassist.
So what was your first band kind of like? What was Matt there from day one, your first band?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first band we were in was called Spun.
Okay.
Like Spun, SPUN, like a record.
Yeah.
And it was me, Matt, and our drummer Josh. And we went down to this place in a town where we grew up that rented studio time, and the guy rented us a little studio, really cheap, like because they liked us because we were kids, and we rented that little studio for $40 a month, and we practiced. And the first gig that we played was at our friend's birthday party.
Yeah, so that was my next question. What was your first gig? That was a birthday party, huh?
Yeah, we played our friend's birthday party when it was out in the woods, and we had to bring generators and all kinds of stuff to make it work, but we did it, and that was our first gig. We played out in the woods as Spun.
So how long?
Let me ask this, if you don't mind. What was your favorite song, the band's favorite song to play at that time?
I think our favorite song was probably Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. That was our favorite cover song to play. And we have a whole bunch of other music from that band that we don't have recorded. And actually it was recorded on a Tascam 4-track tape deck recorder, a little 4-track recorder. So we only have a tape. We can't really make it digital, but I do have the tape still.
Yeah, good luck finding some way to play it, right?
Yeah, there's no way to do it.
Yeah, I've got a few of those myself.
I've definitely tried to look for something to try and get it, but yeah, I have other music too from my second band that we were in. And I also have a whole album that me, our keyboard player, and Matt did. Instead of doing techno, we did it with instruments. And it's actually, all the songs are 10 minutes or 7 minutes long. That's why I didn't give any of them to Choctaw, because I wanted to keep it under 3 minutes. But one, I'll send them one if he wants. They're not remastered. They're just open tracks.
Hey, dude.
They're like 10 minutes
Not
long.
take a 10-minute song?
Hey, all right, I'll send it to you.
I'll take a 10-minute song. I live for 10-minute songs.
I'm going to pick the jam in this
You
one.
learned to like real long songs when you had to flip albums over.
Yeah, our drummer fell off in the middle of the song, and it was awesome. He came right back. It was a weird.
No, man.
Didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, he did.
So who kind of inspired you to play bass or piano first?
My Aunt Sue. When I was a little kid, at all of our family parties, we had a Hammond B3 organ at my house, and she had a very similar one at hers. And we would all stand around, and all the adults in the room would have their drinks and be dancing in the living room, and my Aunt Sue would jam out. And my Uncle Frank, they would sit there and do dueling piano too, sometimes on one top of the keys and one on the other set on the bottom, and get wild.
Wow, very cool. Let's go.
They were good together. So that's how I kind of switched, when I played piano, I just did it because it was natural to me for my family. Like, everybody played something, and it was one in my house. So that was the first instrument that I played, because it was there. It was right there. I didn't have to buy it. It was there. I took total advantage of it. Got some piano lessons, and the guy was mean. He was so mean. If I got out of key or played a wrong note to a song, he'd smack my fingers with one of those rollers with the metal edge on them.
Yeah.
He'd say, no, play it again from the top.
From the top. Always from the top. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So lessons. So when you first got the bass and you're in your first band, did you have lessons, or you guys were just winging it, doing it yourself? Self-taught?
Yeah, we were just self-taught.
Self-taught.
Matt showed me how to do root notes from his guitar, and what the root notes of the scales were, and said, "Here's a book," and dropped a bass grimoire on my lap and said, "Figure it out and we'll rock."
There you go.
I have the book still, and I figured it out. And there's really good books out there for people who want to learn. That is one of the ones that I recommend if you want to play guitar. The guitar grimoire, the bass grimoire, they're there. That's how I learned.
Cushion in the chat room asks, what kind of bass do you play now?
Right now, I have two. My one that I play acoustically is a B3, I can't remember, or B9 CF Martin acoustic bass. And that's my baby. That's my pride and joy. And then my electric bass is a Fender Jazz custom with quad humbucking pickups. Instead of having a regular 2 top and bottom pickup, there's 4.
How long have you had that one?
Probably the last 10 years.
About 10 years. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's let everybody hear some of that fancy bass work. We'll be right back with Bass Doctor.
Touch it once, touch it twice. A cool baby touch it just as nice. Up and down, do it again. Don't you stop, baby, to the very end. Don't look now, here it comes. Next to me, baby, come on. And you know that's just for fun. Be my lover, don't be my friend. Hurt me, baby, again and again. Tell me lies, don't you comprehend? Love me, leave me, baby, wanna do it again. Come on, girl, and blow my mind. 2 steps ahead and 1 step behind. Don't stop now, I love your stare. What comes up's already there. Shove me in the closet scene. A few more closer in between. And you know just what I mean. Be my lover, don't be my friend. Hurt me, baby, again and again. Tell me lies, don't you comprehend? Love me, leave me, baby, wanna do it again. Love you like I love myself. There's nobody else. You're so good, you go as low as it goes. Shh, keep it quiet so nobody knows. Take it up, baby, you're the queen. I love my angel, little Susie Queen. Be my lover, don't be my friend. Hurt me, baby, again and again. Tell me lies, don't you comprehend? Love me, leave me, baby, wanna do it again. Wanna do it again.
All right. Queen Bee with the Bass Doctor.
That song, if you're not up and moving when that thing is playing, you're in a cooler.
You're not living.
That's it, brother. That is it. So, Bass Doctor, the recording of this song, let's talk about it a little bit.
Okay. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
When, or maybe your first recording. When was your first recording project that you did? Maybe not this one.
Our first recording project was in Josh's mom's basement with our band Spawn on a Tascam 4-track when we recorded our first songs. But that album, the songs that I gave Choctaw, are actually recorded at Molecular Message Studio by my recording company, Killer Green Productions. And I've evolved that over the years into just my studio name. And we did that in probably I want to say 2001, maybe, because that was one of the later songs. That wasn't one of the earlier ones.
Okay.
That was one of the songs at the end, because that song is about how my ex, who was the mother of my kids, we had kids when we were in high school, and she lied to me once, lied to me twice, and I couldn't take it anymore. And there was somebody else that I paid to be a babysitter that saw the whole thing happen, saw my whole entire life go from one point to a total 180. And that's how I ended up with my wife. That's what that song's about. It's about the big change. It's the queen bee. It's about how I found my wife. It's everything to me. That's why I wrote that song, because I wanted to rock that so hard that everybody knew how mad I was at what I went through. You know, when you're young and you have kids, you have two options. You either depart or you stay and be their father. And that's my goal, is to ultimately be everybody's father. Like I meet, like I'm everybody calls me like the dad of everybody. Like, yeah, I showed my friends who had kids in school how to raise their kids. And I was like, you know, I'm a foster parent. I fostered 2 kids. One just left when we moved. She's 22. She's on her own, doing great, just got promoted. So I'm a very family oriented person, and my ex was not. And she was more into, I guess, the finer things in life, you would say. And she went one way and I went the other. And after that all happened, 3 months later, I wrote that song, and I met back up with my wife about, I say, 2 weeks before I wrote the song. So it's really about her. It's really about her, because, you know, when I decided that I was going to make things right in my life and I wasn't going to be in this band anymore, that's one of the songs that they were really, really upset about, that they didn't get to play anymore if they stayed together when I left the band. And yeah, so they were mad about that one.
So was that one of the songs you were talking earlier about, maybe got some airplay?
Oh yeah, that song got airplay big time. We held the Loud and Local on Y100, who was our sponsor. Samuel Adams Beer and Y100 was our sponsor for our project. And that song was one of the 2 songs that they played for over 50 weeks. We battled other bands, and our song won for 50 weeks. It got airtime until they had to finally put us up against Metallica, and then we beat them just because it was a local crowd. And then we beat the Rolling Stones, and then they were like, okay, somebody else has to have a turn, and they just handed it over. So we had a really big following in our area, and it was bittersweet, to say the least, when I had to depart. It was a big deal. It was a very big deal.
Wow, that's so cool.
Did you have a lot of gigs in that time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we did. We had 6-7 years of gigs, playing every club, pub, dive bar. We played the Electric Factory. We played the TLA, the Theater of Living Arts. We played a few other places that are pretty big. And One of them was our constant gig rotation. We had a Friday night where we played one place twice a month. And then on Saturday night, we played what is now or was JB Dobbs on South Street. It's the club 218 that's open from the street where you can just walk right in. And we did our first actual live thing on the internet was live over XM radio, and I didn't know. And that was our local routine. We played all the clubs around that area. Doc Watson's, Maddie's, 218 Kelly's Pub, Jumpin' Jack Flash. We played a lot of places.
Now, were you working full time at this time, or were you just a full time musician?
I was a full time dad and a full time worker. I worked at night, watched the kids during the day, and on the weekend, I had someone watch the kids when I played.
So what was it like? I mean, being the dad, being the guy that has to get up and go to work every day, and then in the evening go and the best way to put it, go out and be the bass doctor. What was that transition like, stepping from dad to full-time worker to musician all in one day?
Well, it was kind of rough, to say the least. Some of the clubs didn't have stairs and stuff like that. I had to get some people to help me carry my stuff, because when you play bass, when you play a gig, it's not that easy. And I had to have everything. I have a very big rig. Let's just say that. My old rig was a little bit bigger. So I had eight 12-inch speakers, 115, and a 10-inch dual cabinet with a piezo horn that I brought to every show. That was my monitor bass amp in the front.
Right. No, I want to get more personal about your brain and going through. You're going from this nice home, little house on the prairie concept, and then you're stepping out into the nightlife.
Right. There was a separation that I had to make towards the end, because some of the people in the band wanted to take things to a different level, and we all agreed that we weren't going to break up, and we were going to stay together. People were going to help me, because it was too hard of a thing. We got invited sometimes to go to after hours clubs, like at Doc Watson's. You would get, if you were the band, you automatically got free passes to go to the after hours club. And I didn't know what it was. I thought we were just going to go in there, drink some beer, do normal thing, and, free drinks and stuff like that, because we were the band for the night. And we go over there, and it was complete opposite. It was somewhere where they walked around with girls that didn't have their tops on. They were carrying trays with arrays of drugs on them. And I walked out and I said, I'm not coming back here. And I left. And everybody looked at me like I was insane. And I said, see you guys. And I got outside, went to my truck, and I left. And, that's what I had to do a lot of times, was just turn that out and tune it out and make sure that I didn't get sucked in, because it was really easy to get sucked in. Really easy. A lot of the people that I know are gone. I've been to a lot of funerals, a lot. In the past 9 years, I've been to 14 funerals. So let's just say that I'm one of the only people alive because I didn't go that route. I was able to separate myself from the music scene, raise my family, and still succeed and work and live and have a career.
And that's quite commendable. I got to give you that one, bass doctor. So at what point then was it time that the band separated?
Well, the band broke up because I got hurt, because a pool table fell on my brother. I hurt my back. I went to the doctor. They're like, you have some serious stuff going on. You can't do anything. So I had to get a bunch of roadies. So I had to start taking some money. And previously, all the money that we made, I didn't take any of it because Matt was living on the street sometimes. He was sleeping. My friend Dan, who was also a guitarist, he was working at the A Plus gas station, and Matt was sleeping in the back on the flour bags for the pretzels. There was times where I was sleeping in a car, and I didn't want to go back to that. So I gave the money to Matt when I had it because it's called Pay It Forward, and I wanted to help him. So I never took any of the proceeds from any of our gigs except for that time when I had to pay roadies. And that's what really ended the band. I started taking some money to pay people. We got really big because of it. We got a little bit too big for what I was interested in. And when I got offered what I was offered, I read this differently than they did. And I'm a Christian. I always have believed in God. And what I saw was not a proper contract for business in any form. It was a way for someone to control you, take your soul, take your music, and leave you addicted to something. So I decided not to do it.
So how have they done?
Well, not so well. I found out after I quit the band that 2 of them were doing cocaine behind my back. They were bad. They tried to pick up a bass player. He was calling me all the time saying, "What are you doing in this song? How are you doing this? I can't do this." And I was like, "Oh man, just, you know what? Play it ever how you want, but don't play any of my songs. How about that?" And he was like, "Well, I'm not. I'm just trying to play the other ones, and I can't even play the bass lines you wrote to them." And I said, "Well, then play what you think." And that's when they lost their following, and the band broke up.
Right.
They lasted about 6 months after me. Me and Matt were together playing music, probably for, I'm going to say 7 straight years before I left and stopped playing with Matt.
So you guys were together basically 7 years then? The whole band?
Well, with both of our beginning bands, I would say about 7 years from start to finish.
Okay. So you guys each had your own band and merged a band, or?
No, from the band Spun that we originated from. And let's just say SJB, because when we decided that we weren't going to be a band anymore, and I said no to that, and Matt had went to a record company and gave them the demo, and they told him no, not without the bass player. And he said, "Oh, I got somebody else." They said, "Yeah, we heard it. We don't like it. We don't want to. No, it's not the same demo we said yes to. Don't come back." I don't know why he did that to himself, but he came to me afterward and said, "I tried. They shot me down." And he even tried to get on America's Got Talent, and they shot him down because he did a Johnny Cash song, which he does very well. He should have done an original song. And he had his opportunities, and he tried and failed at them. So he's a very persistent musician, even through his life. You know, all the ups and downs that we go through in life, you know, I chose the family route, and I still play my music for me. I have a whole lot of songs that I play all the time. My oldest daughters both play bass. I taught them both a little something.
Well, I'll tell you what, Doctor. Let's take a music break. One of my favorites, actually. And when we come back, Chano and I will get on you about family. All right, gang. Scadillac, my favorite bass doctor song. right, Scadillac. I love that song.
Smooth.
I do love that song.
So smooth. Love that bass playing there, brother.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. It means a lot to me, actually. Scadillac was written in my dad's living room. We were there. My family all plays music, and my little brother was there, and Matt was showing him it, and I had my bass in my truck, and I said, "Hold on, let me go grab my acoustic real quick." I walked out. We started working it out, and we couldn't work it out. We just couldn't figure out the right guitar riff to go with my bass line. And Matt said, "Why don't we let your brother try?" And my little brother wrote the lead guitar riff to that song.
Wow. Your little brother rocks, man. He rocks.
Matt played it, but we couldn't get my little brother to come to the studio and be a professional musician, even though he's one of the best guitar players on the planet. And I'm just going to put it like that. He is unbelievable. He can play. When he was 12, he got his first guitar and started playing Jimi Hendrix leads within a month. They called him a guitar prodigy at school. They went to he amazing. It's such a shame he fell to drugs, because I would love to have him back. Hopefully one day, God willing, he'll come back and he'll be okay. But as of right now, his musical skills are shot. He probably doesn't have a guitar anymore. He always puts them in the pawn shop for money. So, it's one of those things.
Tell us about Mrs. Bass Lover.
All right. Well, Mrs. Bass Lover came into the picture as somebody that I offered a job to help me. Watch the kids when I had to go work and go to the studio and practice. I paid the girl down the street that was only about 6 years younger than me to watch the kids. And she watched the kids and she hung out with them for a while I was at the studio. And then I would come back, we'd hang out. We would all have dinner when my ex got back, and we would chill for a little while. And then she would go home, and I'd pay her like $20 a day. And she watched what happened, and she watched what my whole entire relationship went through. And when it all fell to pieces, she had grown up and moved away, had a boyfriend, and was living her life. And I was standing on the porch of the bachelor pad one night, and me and my buddy Steve-O, no, not Steve-O from Bam Margera, because I do know some of them.
What about Steve-O from Sum 41?
No.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah. This is just my buddy Steve-O. And we're sitting there, and down in Valley Forge, there's no lights. There's no nothing. And we're sitting on the river, and there was a meteor shower that night. And I saw one of the biggest shooting stars I've ever seen. And I looked at Steve and I said, "You know what I wish?" I said, "I wish I knew what Nikki was up to right now." I was like, because it would be really nice to have someone, I didn't have a girlfriend for probably a few months, and I didn't have anyone to talk to about what I was going through. I didn't have anybody. I just had a couple of friends and went to work every day. And my kids, they were, sitting there with mom, mad that I left, and they were young. One was 12, one was 9. They didn't understand what I was doing, how I was going to get them back. And
so let me ask you this. Let's go into a different light here. How is she with your music?
She loves my music, and she's very encouraging. She's the one who told me the other night, she said, "Look at you." She was like, "You thought you were done. You thought you were just going to play music, and everything that you ever did was for just you guys, and your albums that you wrote are done, and everything is just over with." She said, "Look at you." She said, "You're claiming back who you are, what you're made of." She said she was so surprised to see me go out and get a boom mic and get a brand new Focusrite and just jump on this gravy train that we're doing. And she said, look at you. You're doing what you always wanted to do, but in a different format. And it's just the same thing, but a little bit different. And I just sat there and looked at her. She's my rock star. She is my rock. The day we got together, I handed her a piece of Tektite, which is a meteorite. I owned the only glass blowing shop in a small town for a while. I paid for it to get started, and two people. So that's how I got the meteorite, because they were putting it in their wine goblets and stuff that they made at their shop. Let's just say that. And
okay, now go back to what we were talking about.
So she basically was at the bar one night that me and my friends went to. It was the local hangout. It was a block or two from our road. So it was easy to go there. We had a really nice house on the river with a boat dock, a band. We had everything we wanted down there. I had this big party. I said, you know what? I'm going to meet a girl. I'll have a big party. I had a big mud wrestling match, and I put it up at all the colleges around. I paid everybody. So my wife comes up in this.
Wait a minute. Back up. You had a what party?
Yeah. They had bikinis on, but they were mud wrestling. I spent the money. I built the pool. Our neighbors were really cool. Yes, let us use the Bobcat. We filled up the pool because we had a boat dock in our yard. So we went right into the river with our boat. So we were getting out of hand.
Real fast, huh?
Yeah, let's just say my friend Steve-O went down the liquor luge a few times off the deck that night into the mud. That wasn't one of the only parties where we drank way too much. And everybody, I was looking for a way out of the bachelor pad. And I was like, there's nobody I want to be with except for somebody that would actually care about me. And the only person I know that actually cared was Nikki. And that night when I saw that shooting star, no lie, a week later, we went to the bar where you always picked up girls, and everybody came back and drank at the house. Nikki was there.
So Nikki wasn't there for your drunk infested mud sliding.
No, she took me out of the bachelor pad.
Okay.
She took me out of the bachelor pad. Everybody was so mad. They were so mad. They were like, we had rules there. You weren't allowed to have a girlfriend. You can't live at the house. And I was like, oh, this is getting out of hand now. Now we're getting to the point where this is going downhill. I don't want to be, I was trying to separate from this, and it's getting to the point where now we're having parties where 500 people show up because we posted it all over the place, and we threw more than one party. I mean, we went and picked up people, and there was girls jumping on a trampoline at 3 a.m. and a band playing, and the cops came to the mud wrestling party, and then they came back.
Were they muddy girls in the bikini jumping on trampolines?
Yeah, that happened too. When you live on the river, it's different. Life is a little different because if you want to blow off steam, you just go out at night on the boat, go to the point. We call it the point, which is the island you can stand on. And we just hop out, and you have a keg on your boat. You just drink all night. This most sober person just sit back real slow to the dock, and we go stumble in. Boating's a lot different than driving at nighttime. There's nobody on that river. It's just us out there having a good time the way Americans should be able to do. I got a little out of hand, and my friends all told me, they were like, "You're
dude, it's okay, man."
Checking child. They were like, "You're going through a checking some kind of second childhood here. You're going to be like 30 years old. You can't be doing this."
Stop it.
And that's when I met the wife, and she took me out of there. And I hang up that shooting star. I'm not kidding.
I believe every word, Pace Doctor. I believe every word.
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
had
goodness,
a good
Kane, you
time.
got him. He's yours for a minute.
Man. How many famous people have you played with, brother? And in your band, or at some of these clubs that you played, bumped in and played after hours stuff? I mean, give us some of that, because we know
Well,
there's a bit of it.
okay. So I did play some gigs to try and get back into music scene a little bit, just to keep my name out there, so that I would be able to play. And one of the people that opened up for us that's now famous is Grace Potter. She opened up for our band. That's literally insane. Okay, because she's famous. They took the meal ticket, from Hollywood. So another time, I was the house bass player for the Aqua Lounge on Girard Avenue in Philadelphia for the Roots.
For the Roots,
The band, the band that's on Jimmy Kimmel every night.
yeah.
Yeah, I jammed with them, Dialects, and another band, and it was kind of like Showtime at the Apollo. That's kind of how it went there. If it was an open mic night, if you were not keeping up with Questlove on drums and some of the guys, you got thrown off stage, and they would say some things like a rap and throw you off. And the night that I went the first time, I got on stage second, and I played all night till 2 a.m. And they said, come back next time. I came back another time. I did the same thing, except that time no bass player showed up. So I played for 6 hours, and we all rolled off leads to each other. There was horns involved. There was 2 saxophone players, a trumpet player. A lot of my friends were actually at that gig because some of the people that are in the Roots were there the second time, and think they were scouting for a new bass player because they've had a problem with a bass player for a long time. They went through a lot of them, and they offered me a deal. My friend, who will remain nameless, offered me a deal to go down to Whiskey Dick's and cut some tracks with the Roots. Not my style of music, but I like funk. So I went and laid a couple funk things down with one of my friends, and then about 6 months later, the Roots digitalized it, and it's they have the music. So I just jammed with them about 5 times, and they got to steal some of my stuff because I didn't know they were compression recording the whole entire thing. So there's probably some of my influence into their band now, and they tried to get me, and I said no because it's not my style of music. I just said no. I said, nah, it was fun. I didn't think it was going to be like this. I didn't know, it was just going to be all band hip hop music. I thought it was going to be more jazz. There was a jazz band that was great that I played with there. There was another rap band called the Dialects that wrote this great song called Star. They were awesome to play with. They were amazing there.
Have you been a studio musician for hire? Other albums or anything? Anybody else?
Yeah, I did a little work for smaller studios in the area, and I helped people set up a couple shows and played bass behind the stage. Like they didn't need a bass player it was just real simple bass lines. There's another rap band that liked my playing style, and they wanted to adapt me to it, and it didn't work out. That was just the worst gig ever because my band played after that, so I had to play the whole time.
Okay, worst gig. Give us your best gig now. Best gig ever, or for performance. My
best performance ever was probably 2 years ago, three now, at the rodeo. Now it's a couple miles away from my house, with Flux Capacitor, and we rocked that place. Flux Capacitor actually asked me to be their bass player after the show because they don't have a bass player. The keyboard player, he plays the low end with his left hand, Mike Flux. I love him. He's a great guy. I have pictures of me and him playing together at that gig. I'll send them to you.
Cool. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, his dreadlocks are like down to the ground. It's hilarious. You see me standing there with my hat on, and his dreads like touching the ground. But yeah, that was probably one of the most famous bands I've ever played with. Right, they just came back from their European tour.
Awesome, brother.
That was probably the biggest gig I ever played too. That was a gigantic indoor rodeo where they sold anywhere from 5 to maybe 8,000 tickets, and there was tents up inside because it was called Infest.
Infest. Okay, yeah. There's got to be video or something somewhere we can get.
There is audio, and I can get it. That was a 3-piece. That was me and Matt trying to do our new songs that I wrote. It was all my music. Matt wrote the guitar. That was with a very small band called Relative Matter. We played that gig, and people loved it. I came off stage and people were like, "Oh my goodness, that was the most crazy and thing." Me and the drummer were so tight. This guy John, man, I never had a drummer that stick to my bass like that. Like he was like on top of it. It was amazing. It was like we just stole the show, and they knew it. And they were like, "Man, we got to go on after that." And I was like, "It's cool, man." They were like, "Oh, step here and play with us for a little while." So I stayed up and played with them for a little while. It ended up being, I got told to like take a break because they could tell that I was starting to need a drink. You know, I was thirsty. I wanted to stop for a little bit. And they were like, "After this song, we're going to take a break."
Yeah, it's amazing the energy you get when you're playing. You could just feed off each other. You could just keep going for hours and hours and hours. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I played with my band and got to play with them, and then Mike came up and played with us, and it was just very intense. And that was probably the most insane rock, if you want to call it a rock jam funk fest, that was the most amazing gig I ever played.
Well, that is awesome, brother. Thank you for that. And we got another tune coming up here in just a few minutes with the Bass Doctor. You ready, Choctaw? Let's let that thing roll. Get back here to our discussion.
All right, here we go.
Standing on the street. Woman, I'll pick you up, put your back on your feet. When I see your bed, I'll buy you pretty things. But do you think you love me? Do you think you changed? No, you left me stranded. Hey, yeah. Some other guy, you found somebody new. Now you're looking at me, woman, I'm nobody to you. See you when you used me up and took up all my time. Baby, I'm getting older and threw it on the line. Woman, you're the devil. Down the street, act like I don't know you, baby, even like me. Every time I see you, girl, you wish somebody knew. Baby, don't you know that I'm the one that really knew? All right, baby, you're the devil. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sweet.
Let's see how.
Love that one, brother.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
One of my favorites.
That song is written by Matt C. He's still a really good friend of mine, so I have to give him credit for this. This was his story. This was about his experience. This wasn't about mine. We had both had a similar but a little bit different situation go on in our lives, and he picked music and I picked my family, and this is what it was about. And we were at the point where we had to write a song because Matt came up with this, and I said, you know what, I love it. I was like, I love it. I was like, I love the whole idea behind it, Matt. I was like, I think that whole thing's great. I love the words. And I read this, you know, we had a book, and we would all write down our ideas in the book. And actually, my wife, Nicole, gave us, well, not me. She didn't give it to me. She gave it to Matt one day on my porch, her poems. And Matt turned one of her songs or poems into a song. And I didn't give that to you yet, Choctaw, but I'm going to, because that was the other song that was played on the radio every freaking Friday for 50 weeks.
Well, that would be
It was either that or Queen Bee. And you know, they played Make You Mine, I think, once too, maybe 3 times. And they ran through all of our top songs. But that song is very fast. It's more punk rock, and it's literally written by Mrs. Bass Doctor, really. It was about her poems about her life that Matt took and turned into a song for her.
Did Matt do all the singing on all the songs?
Yes, he did all the vocals on all the songs that you have. And when we were live, I would do the backups with him. So did one of the other guitar players that came into the band at the very end. A lot of the vocals, though, Matt, man, I felt so bad for him when we were recording, because I got to step out after I was done and go outside and smoke a cigarette and chill out with everyone outside and drink a beer and have a good time. He's in that box singing and singing and singing, laying down them vocals, man. That is him one over another on every one of those songs. That is Matt C. That is his vocals, one over the top of the other on every one of those. And when we did it live, I did the oohs and ahs and yeah, and you know, duh, all that stuff live. But when we had to record, Matt wanted his voice, and I agreed. Everybody agreed. His voice was stellar. It still is stellar, but it's not the same anymore. There's something he changed his whole music style to a folk style, so it's not rock anymore. So
his vocal and your bass playing is it's unmistakable for sure. Stands out. Makes
yeah, we were at the prime of our lives when we wrote those songs. You know, we were in our very early 20s. I was 18 when we wrote some of those songs. And it's hard to narrow down exactly what song when sometimes, because we wrote songs our whole lives from the time we were 15 until now. And like Matt gave me a book a couple of weeks ago, and it's this thick, and he wants me to learn it. And I said, Matt, I don't know, man. I don't think so. And you know, he's a sober person now. He's not, you know, he never did heroin or anything like that. He just got caught up in the other crap, but he's a good guy. He's a patriot now, mind you. He has totally watched Patriot Soapbox. I think I have seen him in the chat under his code name, but I do not think this is going to work with this thing he wants to do. It's not. I'm too funky for that. I I play hard.
We have a project right now.
Yeah, man, I'd rather do that. That sounds so much more fun and interesting, and just this is so amazing that we can do this with this technology. It's blowing my mind literally every day. Choctaw is like, Kush. You guys are so amazing. It blows my mind every day that this has happened from a chat room. And really, I got to give it up to chat. I really do. I love being in the chat. I love everyone in the chat so much. You guys are the reason why I'm on here, the whole reason why I sent my music in. And it's really about a conversation with Pegster one day over in 24/7. She was like, "You're a musician. Oh, maybe you should go over to check out Choctaw." And I said, "I do in the morning." She said, "No, his radio station. I didn't even know he had one. I thought it was just, And I went over and checked it out. And I guess some things got worked out with Kush and Choctaw, and here we are. And this is amazing, brother. Like, I am stoked. I am so pumped up. This is like man.
Yes, it has been quite a trip, Doctor. No doubt about it, huh?
We are family.
No doubt. I love it. This is great. I hope, there's a lot going on in everybody's life. But if we can spend a little time writing some music, making it real good, making it untouched by evil, I'm all about it. All about it.
Once it's out there, it's out there.
John and Kush. Stephen John has been so helpful, and Chano and Kush have been so helpful with all this technology that I'm not familiar with. You guys don't know in chat what goes on behind the scenes sometimes when what we're trying to work on. But I'll just give you a little bit about Stephen John. He has walked me through things. Chano has walked me through things. They didn't have to do that. They could have just said, "Dude, you got to go get a new Mac or something." No, they walked me through this. They got me here. I owe them a lot of credit. I owe Choctaw a lot of credit. All the credit. It's like, this is his baby. And I'm so proud to be a part of this. This is exactly what music should be. This is what music should be. It should be from the heart. It shouldn't be for money. It shouldn't be for some record label that wants to rob you, steal you, turn you out like a $3, you know what, and send you back with a disease and addiction.
Amen, brother. Amen.
This is real. This is real. I feel it while I'm with y'all. It's
well
real.
said.
There you go.
Well, I don't have anything else for you myself today. What about you?
I got one other thing that is very, first of all, Bass Doctor, thank you for coming on here, brother. I love you, man. And it's been awesome talking with you. But earlier we talked about a picture that you got. You actually DM'd it to me. And I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was a pretty cool picture for you to get signed by our POTUS. Can you talk about that just a little bit?
Sure can. It's all about what's right behind me right here. Right behind me on the wall, if you can see it, is the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States of America. And that's why we're here. And that picture was sent to me after I did some digging, and I found a photo going around, and I found a passport going around that had Barack Obama's real name on it. It had Mrs. Sotoro's name as mother, his as child, probably about 4 to 8 years old. And I decided I was going to write a little bit about that and tell him what a liar he is and how he sold out our country. And I direct messaged it to him on Twitter. Well, right after that, I sent it to Trump too, and I say happy birthday to President Trump, and I write to Trump all the time. He actually responded to me. And I don't know if anybody else got this, but I got a hand-signed picture from President Trump, and I came home yesterday, and I got the Republican National Merit Award. I don't know how I got this. I don't know what I did. Maybe it's kahunas. Maybe I have more testicular fortitude than some of the other people in Pennsylvania. You should be reading your Constitution that was written here. You should be living your life. You should be paying attention seriously. We're all here because we love our country. This is our country. It belongs to us.
Let's take it back. Time to take it back. Coming to you, right. True American patriot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother.
No, but thank you. Thank you, Choctaw. Thank you, Chano. Thank you, Stephen John. Thank you, Kush. And thank you, chat. I love you guys.
All right, Bass Doctor. Well, we love you too, and we really appreciate you being on tonight. I know the chat room has really enjoyed this interview, and they really appreciate your honesty. Please pass on big hugs to Mrs. Bass Lover from all of us, and we shall catch you down the road somewhere. Any final words?
Yes. For anyone out there who's listening that is noodling around on an instrument or wants to play an instrument, you can get a cheap, crappier guitar from a pawn shop. It sets you free. Music really lets the soul out. It really shows who you are. Get the bass, the guitar grimoire. If you want to play drums, get a little drum set. You only need a 4-piece or a 3-piece with a couple toms to make rock music. It really does a lot as a hobby. You know, I have other hobbies too. I like to fix things that are broken. It's weird. I just fix everything that's broken. But music is what sets the soul free.
Well, you are the bass doctor.
Yes, you are. No doubt.
I do fix basses too.
I somehow believe that as well. Hey, Bass Doctor, thank you so very much, sir. We appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Thank you, sir. And thank you to everybody out there. I love you all. Have a great night. God bless. See you next time.
All right. Thanks, Bass Doctor. Wow. There you have it, man. Jano.
What an awesome.
Right, huh?
I am so happy to be able to say he's a band member and have an opportunity to jam out with him and write music. He is such an awesome person. And I can't say enough good stuff about him, man. He rocks.
Man, what a great night. Great show tonight.
Yeah. Love the chat. You guys are always a
pleasure.
Always. Yep.
Let's see. Loot 7, Trisha Jones, Pexter 6, Yamabudo, Marie Demostes. Let's see. Who else? Dahlia Olive, Red Rob from way down under. Who else, Chano?
Bean's Eye. Yep. HPWY. What's up? Odell Joe. And, of course, our wonderful mods, Trisha Jones. She's in the house tonight. Love you guys.
Point Man, Nico Grakos, 9 Fathoms. Good to see you. HPWY caught you earlier today over on 24/7. Cushion On, Billy Jim 52, Paul Slack, Charmaine Park. Good to see you. And Martha Benjamin. What will we do without you? Hey, Martha, go back to the very beginning after the show post. You'll have a great time. And let's see, I think, and I do appreciate all the mods that we have. Thanks for all the great work that you do. Thanks for all you guys coming in. Be sure and share this show. Be sure and give it a like up. And that's about all I got for tonight, gang, except do remember tomorrow night on Scout's Old Time Radio Hour is going to be Miracle on 34th Street from Lux Radio Theater. So it'll be a good one. Be sure and be there. Start celebrating the holidays. Chano, any final words, sir?
The after party Zoom room will pick up right after this show's over. So anybody would like to join up over there, feel free to come in.
All right, gang. Sounds good. We do appreciate you, Irene Soto. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to close out with some going out the door music for you guys so you can say goodbyes and so on and so forth. And the first one is going to be Last Scout. And it's going to be Stephen John's song. I got to get it in here this week. Just cannot do without it. Got to have my Stephen John. Anyway, let's get right over here to it. And there we go. I think that's it. Yep, there we go, gang. In reverse.